Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And welcome to the third episode of Designer Diaries, a series where I break down the main important aspects of every architecture project at university and provide you with as much support as possible to help you on your way. This week we'll be discussing site analysis. Please feel free to make any notes along the way, and don't forget to save the video and re-watch it to remind yourself of some tips. So without further ado, grab your notepad and your pen and let's get into it. For any new architecture students, you're probably wondering, what is a site analysis? Well, a site analysis is a comprehensive study and evaluation of the physical, environmental, social, and contextual factors that influence your project at the specific site or location. The purpose of the site analysis is to gather as much information as you can that will inform the design process, helping architects and designers to make informed decisions about how to best respond to the unique characteristics and constraints of the site. So, what does it comprise of? The key components of a successful site analysis include the exploration of Number 1, physical characteristics, such as the topography, geology, climate, and vegetation that exists on the site. Number 2, environmental conditions, which include sun and wind patterns, water, and geological considerations. Number 3, contextual analysis, which comprises of the surrounding built environment, infrastructure, access, and transport. Number 4, cultural and social factors, such as the historical significance, cultural context, and zoning regulations. Number 5, utilities and services. Now, these factors can often be ignored and neglected by architecture students, but they are an extremely important factor of the overall site analysis, as you will also need to consider these when you're working in practice. And these include the availability of utilities, waste management, and accessibility. And finally, number 6, legal and regulatory requirements, which include local building codes and permitting requirements. Now then, when it comes to analysing your site, it's really important that you engage with all of your senses and make the whole process enjoyable and fun for yourself. Use your eyes to inspect every aspect of the surrounding context. Use your ears to listen out to any uncommon or common noises. Use your nose to detect any smells that could work in contrast or connect you with the build-up of the environment that you're working in. Take your camera and your smartphone, and I would strongly advise you to take as many images and videos as you can. It's also important to take your sketchbook or your notebook to jot down any notes or make any sketches whilst you're there on site. It makes it a bit more personal and kind of allows you to be much more expressive whilst you're there. I remember spending hours at the site that we were given during university on the project that we were working on, and visiting the site during different hours of the day to understand if there's any patterns or trends that we could identify. So maybe you could plan to visit your site from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m, then 12 till 2 p.m, and possibly 4 till 6 p.m, so you can understand what goes on during different hours of the day. And if you want, why not revisit the site during the week? And if you want to go a little bit extra on the weekend as well, because then you can collate all of that research and use it when you're presenting it. The first thing we all do is look on Google Maps and grab a screenshot to understand the macro scale of our project. But one of the biggest mistakes that I see architecture students make right now is to just grab a screenshot from Google Maps and place it in their sketchbooks. That simply isn't site analysis. That just shows that you're capable of printing and sticking things in your book. I would advise all students to make their site analysis as personal to them as possible. Yes, use Google Maps to grab the basic images that you need, but then refer back to chapter 1 of this episode and produce diagrammatic illustrations to show your own understanding of the site. This isn't just for your grades, it's for your own development as an architect and designer moving forward. Additionally, I have found that by making the site analysis a bit abstract, but placing the important data and information that you've researched into the drawings, it allows you to remember it better. And one tip that I would give to all architecture students is to produce site analysis drawings such as these ones from Pinterest. These drawings not only provide beautiful aesthetics, but it will allow you to present and showcase your research in a much more professional manner. See how these architects and students are organizing their work. The use of hierarchy to highlight some research above others. Each of them has their own style, and it allows the reader to follow the presentation with a bit more guidance. And if there's one huge tip that I can give to all of you, is that clarity is number 1 in architecture school. The scale and placement of these illustrations presents kind of a foundation and a template to where you can then insert your text. We see a combination of styles used, such as photo montages, collages, long and short sections. We have exploded axonometrics, isometrics, topography models, and a really powerful thing to do actually is to stick to a color palette Feel free to search around to find more examples of precedents or site analysis drawings that you can use for your own projects from websites such as Pinterest, Behance, and Instagram. And whilst you're on Instagram, why not check out some of the drawings that I made for my own master's project? The final chapter of this week's episode of Site Analysis from Designer Diaries will highlight the importance of integrating your site analysis with your architectural project. It serves as the foundational key to unlock the coexistence of the natural landscape and the built environment. And it will allow you to choreograph your structure, not only to navigate the site in which it's based in, but to embrace the site that it's placed in. By using your site analysis to inform your design decisions, it will allow you to research into the aesthetic, sustainable, and user comfort of your proposal. We are all able to identify buildings that have been designed and constructed with those qualities in mind. And on the contrary, we know buildings that just simply haven't, and that they have neglected those elements for one reason or another. Therefore, as we sit within this transitional period within architecture that is heavily focused on retrofitting, sustainability, and energy efficiency, let's work on ensuring that we can maximize the outcomes of our schemes from placing sufficient time in the preparation and analysis of the project beforehand. Because as architects, we're not just creating buildings, we're sculpting legacies that resonate with the environment and stand as timeless embodiments of thoughtful and contextual design. So there we have it. That was a breakdown of site analysis on this week's episode of Designer Diaries. I really hope you all enjoyed this video and that it brought you lots of valuable support. Please ask any questions that you may have in the comment section down below and I'll make sure to answer every single one of them. That's a promise. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic week ahead and I'll catch you in the next episode of Designer Diaries. Take care, everyone.